Hey guys, welcome to the Anthony Kitchen. I'm so glad that you're here today. And if you love Mexican food, you are in for a serious treat. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make a super easy version of tacos al carbon at home, which is basically beef fajitas without the sizzling platter and all the bells and whistles. But you're really not gonna be missing a thing because tacos al carbon always comes with a bonus side of queso and a little Tex-Mex salad on the side. So I'm gonna show you how to whip all that up, and we're gonna get started right now with the flank steak. This dish really can be made with flank steak or skirt steak, but I really prefer the flank steak. It's gonna be less chewy, but you're still gonna get that big, bold, beefy flavor like you would get with fajitas. Plus, this is easier to fit into a cast iron pan. So you could just season the beef and take it straight to the pan. But if you really wanna get that big Mexican flavor into the beef, we're gonna have to do a marinade. So this is a super straightforward marinade, really, really simple. We've got limes, cilantro, garlic, kosher salt, black pepper, a little sugar to balance out the bitterness from the limes, and oil. So let's get started with the fresh lime juice. Don't try to use that store-bought bottled lime juice for this. You really wanna go fresh for the best flavor. So I'm just gonna cut some limes in half and get them ready for juicing. We want a total of a half cup of fresh lime juice. So that's gonna be anywhere from 4 to 6 limes depending on how big they are and how juicy they are. So let's see how far this gets us. I'm going to enlist my favorite citrus juicer here and just put it right over a big measuring pitcher and squeeze. We'll just do this until we reach a half cup. Okay, so now we're gonna add some fresh chopped garlic. You'll want about 3 to 4 cloves. And what I'm gonna do when I chop garlic, I am not just gonna slam my knife on one big giant clove. I'm afraid of cutting my hand in half doing that. So what I do instead is cut the garlic clove in half, and then I'll just apply gentle pressure. You see you have this little flat side here now, which is much safer than slamming your hand on a wobbly garlic clove, at least I think. For the smaller cloves, you don't have to worry about it so much, but for the big ones, I highly advise cutting them in half first. So we'll just crush them, and this really just helps to get the paper off of the clove. So then just peel that paper right off. We're not gonna have to cut the garlic super small or fine. It's just part of a marinade, so really what we wanna do is just bust it open so that we can get that flavor out of there. Okay, so then just give it a really good rough chop. So we'll just get this over here to the measuring pitcher with the lime juice. And now it's time for the cilantro. You want about a 1/4 cup of cilantro. And again, you just need a rough chop, nothing too fine, and it's totally okay if the stems go in there too. So that's a 1/4 cup in there. We'll add our seasoning straight into the mix. Give it a little stir. Okay, and now you're gonna slowly drizzle in that oil. I used canola oil. You could also use avocado oil. The important thing here is that it's a flavorless oil. Pouring really slow so that I can get a good emulsification here. Okay, perfect. There is a lot of flavor going on in this one little pitcher. So the marinade's done. What you'll do now is add that flank steak to a zip top bag. Pour it right over the top. Try to get as much air as you can out of there and seal it really tight. I like to use a rimmed baking sheet to put the marinade on top of so that we don't risk any juices or anything spilling out into the refrigerator. So once you have it sealed and you've got it on your baking sheet here, you just want to kind of massage everything into the beef really briefly. You don't have to do this for any long period of time. And then we're gonna pop this in the fridge for about 4 hours. I've already got a flank steak marinating in the fridge, so I'm gonna grab that and I'll be right back. Now, if you look closely, the beef will have changed color just a little bit. This is nothing to worry about. It's just the lime juice will kind of cook the outside of the beef a little while it's marinating in there, and that's totally normal and perfectly fine. So discard of the marinade, then we're gonna pat it dry. The reason we're patting the flank steak dry before we add it to the skillet is because we want to remove as much excess water as possible so that we can get a really good sear on that beef. So get both sides as dry as you can. Then we're gonna drizzle it with just a little bit of oil, rub that in. And I've got a mix of black pepper and kosher salt. So I'm gonna sprinkle about half my mix over here and half on the other side. So now that we've got it seasoned, we're just gonna let it hang out on the counter for about 30 minutes just to remove the chill. You don't wanna add ice cold beef to a searing hot pan. Our flank steak is seasoned and ready to go, and I've already got a pan over on the stovetop with oil in it on high heat. You don't wanna add the beef to the pan until it's good and hot. Have the oil in the pan, hot and ready to go. Then you'll add the flank steak to the pan and let it sit for 4 to 5 minutes. I know it's gonna be tough, but don't touch it. Set a timer. Once that timer goes off, flip the beef and cook it for another 4 or so minutes. Then remove it from the pan, place it on your cutting board, and let it rest. You wanna let it rest at least 10 minutes before cutting into. If you happen to have a gas stovetop and you wanna make your tacos al carbon extra special, fire up that heat on low. Add a flour tortilla directly onto the grate and let it cook for about 20 seconds. As soon as you see it start to puff up, grab a pair of tongs, flip it over, and let it go for about 20 seconds more. Okay, the resting time is up and it is ready for slicing. So before you slice the beef, make sure that you're cutting against the grain. So here's the grain. You can see how it runs up and down. We want to make sure that the knife blade is cutting against it, going this way. You want to slice it as thin as possible. Okay guys, the beef is cut up. We are ready to serve. So let me show you how you would get an authentic plate of tacos al carbon at a Mexican restaurant in Texas. So if you walk into any Tex-Mex joint, this is how you're going to see your tacos al carbon plated. It's gonna come with a side of queso. This is a must, and it's almost half the reason you order it. So you get your bonus queso, you put down some lettuce. This is going to be your little Mexican salad here. Spoon over a little pico. And these tacos come already assembled, so they're doing half the work for you. So you'll just take a tortilla, lay it down, add a few pieces of beef to the center, and roll it up. Place it seam side down, just like so, and just keep going until your plate is full. So there you have it, guys. Authentic tacos al carbon, just like you'd get at your favorite Mexican restaurant in the comfort of your very own kitchen. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe at theanthonykitchen.com and to our YouTube channel, The Anthony Kitchen. We'll catch you next time.